It's on now.
Yes, we are. Stop looking at your phone like a teenager.
I'm allowed to look at my phone while I'm testing. Don't start with me. There I am. Oh, I got some.
Are we live?
I got some Chi-Chi's showing here. Go fix that. It's gonna turn into a different kind of show. Okay.
How come I can't see it?
'Cause you have the crappy computer that takes forever. I can see it on my phone. Good morning, Diana, and everybody else watching whatever we are doing.
Hang in there. I'm trying to get in. Come on.
Barb, I blocked Barb. I was like, get out of here.
Oh.
Did you get it? I can't get off my
We're live
phone.
now.
Okay, now I can get off my phone. Hi, Marlene. All right. We are on. My phone is off. My husband is here. Are you going to say hello, or are you
Hi,
just
Eric.
lurking in the corner?
He's
Be
lurking
nice.
in the dark.
Be nice. Be
Hi, Mar.
nice.
Hi, Linda. Hi, Gloria.
All right, get out of
Hi,
here.
Eric.
Oh, my. There's
Don't
my
mind
husband.
him. Don't mind him.
We ignore him. You can too.
He hasn't come on my computer yet.
Oh, see, he's not even technically live. No.
Hi.
Okay, thank you.
There he is the first time.
Oh, he keeps my life interesting. And that's all I'm going to say. That's it. It's 11:02, so let's officially start. Before we get started today, it's kind of hard to do a live broadcast without acknowledging that today is the 19th anniversary of 9/11. It feels kind of selfish not to say something. And so before we get into the business, I just wanted to say that I don't want to make this video heavy or sad. Obviously, everybody here and everybody watching, you all have your own memories of that day. We will not forget it. Obviously, it's kind of hard to forget that. So I just want to say to all the men and women who bravely stepped up for our country, thank you. We will never forget. And also to all of my friends in California who are dealing with wildfires, please be safe. Please take care of yourselves. And not that there's much we can do from New York, but if you ever need anything, reach out to us. So that is all I'm going to say because I can't not say something. So I am also really struggling with the fact that it is the 11th of September already.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, where did August go? Where did July go? I feel like it was just like July. So anyway, okay. I'm going to take a sip and then we're going to get into our business. I don't know why that just made me very sad to say that, but it's a very emotional day. It's always a weird day when I wake up and I'm like, oh, it's that day. Okay. You know I'm going to start laughing at any second now. So I got the appropriate stuff done so I can be inappropriate as I always am. As usual, a like, follow, and share. I don't have a technology minute for you today, but I have said this a few times and I'm just going to say it one more time because I know we have a lot of new people watching, a lot of newbies that have joined the group and are watching the Facebook videos. So just as a small reminder, you are on the Facebook page right now. This is where the general business happens. This is where we post things that we're doing. This is where you can watch the live videos and all of the past live videos. They're always saved in the video tab. The group is a different thing. It's linked together. It's linked to the page, but the group is a totally separate place where we post our so many creations, right?
Perfect.
There we go. So, if you watched Log Cabin's video last night, I think I know why our microphones went out. I think we're good. We were having a receiver issue with a battery. These things get plugged in, but then they still need batteries, so I don't know. So if you're watching, I'm sorry if you missed the beginning part. We did go back and do it again. So
But I
that
think
was
we have new
that.
batteries, don't we?
We do have new batteries,
Yay.
and I made sure to check everything because for some reason I get over there and I just get distracted talking to Lisa and Bonnie and Pat. I know everybody here is shocked. I get distracted, and we didn't check the microphones, even though we should have learned that lesson from the last time we had microphone issues. And I did not ditch Lisa. I want that on record. I went to my car to get the backup microphone. I want you all to know that. So, yes.
28 more people, and there's going to be a giveaway from me.
Oh, yes. Barb
Woo!
is going to give you something from her personal stash.
Which is across the hall in Jess's office.
Hey, so wait a minute. So you skipped like 5 things I had to say.
I'm sorry.
You know, you give her a microphone and she just takes over the whole damn thing. So we have 472 members.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yeah.
We have 472 members in our group. And if you remember, or if you don't remember, Barb decided
To give away Jess's stuff.
the owner of So Many Creations would be me. But Barb decided that we're having a giveaway at 500. She still won't decide what it is, though. So we're really close. We just got to get to 500, and then apparently we're doing something. We're going to celebrate, but I don't know what it is because she won't tell me. Because the way it goes around here is when you have a great idea, you have to come up with all of the idea, not just a little bit of it. So
And then it's a secret.
may I go backwards to my notes?
Yes, you
'Cause you got
can.
me all scrambled here. We all know I don't need a lot
I
to do that.
apologize.
No, it's okay. It's just business stuff anyway. It doesn't really matter what order. I never know what order it needs to be in. Maybe I'll just go backwards now. I'm going to read up the page. Cork Club. Cork Club ships on Monday. Yeah, that's right. So if you have not signed up yet and you want to be in the first shipment in September, you have until like Sunday. If you sign up on Monday, you're probably not going to get anything until October. So that was your last warning. Maybe there'll be another warning. That was maybe your next to last warning. But if you are already signed up and you've already paid for Cork Club, you will be starting in September. It will be shipping Monday/Tuesday. It all depends. But it will be, like I said, on or around the 15th. Again, Cork Club is on the Cork page of the website. It's right up towards the top, and you can sign up for 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. And whenever you sign up is when you start. So if you don't sign up for September, you get in for the next month. It's unlimited. You can do whenever you want. Since we're speaking about Cork, Barb and I have been, and Marlene have been curious about something, and maybe one of you can enlighten us. Every so often we get one color that just sells over and over and over again, and it's not something I've been using lately. Have any of you seen in any of the groups or anywhere out there the pastel green cork being used in something? Because what is it, like 2 weeks now?
Oh my gosh,
It's
yeah.
been a while that it's been and it's been on Etsy as well as the website, pastel green. Is it just finally getting its moment and everybody likes it? Or is there a project out there that I have not seen? I want to know. So if you've seen something, not from me, let us know. Because
I tried to find something.
Barb
I
has
couldn't-
looked, I looked. We're very, very curious. It's always weird when that one thing is like the thing at the moment, but I didn't do anything with it, so I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
somebody out there knows and they can help us because we're very confused.
Marlene's suggestion for the giveaway?
Oh, Marlene has a suggestion. Yes.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, but she says
Is it Eric? Yes, done.
free zippers for everyone should be the giveaway because I love cutting them. No,
that
she
was
hates it.
that was covered in sarcasm,
Yes.
Marlene. Yeah. I'm a little disappointed. No, I'm just kidding.
But then she
I
just
will-
said I'm even starting to like it.
Oh,
No, she's not.
So maybe I will. No, I will take that into consideration.
But it's not your decision, so.
But it's not my
problem.
decision. Apparently, I am just the owner behind this operation. What do I know? So we're letting Barb decide, and then I can veto if I don't like her decision. Because
That's true.
That's how it works around here. It is a dictatorship, and that is how it goes. So anyway, I told you I was going to turn the inappropriate on in about 2 seconds. Let's also talk about our 30 days of giveaways. We have a few more weeks. 30 days of giveaways. I did update the listing. We are donating half of our proceeds to the Alzheimer's Association. A lot of you commented on how glad you were that I picked that. I'm very glad that I picked that. I want to send them as much money as we can. I had asked you guys to try to beat our last number, which was 42 tickets sold. We're already at 30. So we are past the halfway point. So if you have not purchased your ticket, please do so within the next couple of weeks. I am going to, I wasn't doing anything weird. I was fixing my sweater. I am going to put up a couple more individual posts aside from the video. That way, if somebody's not watching our video, which I don't know why they wouldn't, I think we're funny, but I understand people have lives, I guess, or jobs. I don't know.
I don't know.
I will put up some more posts to remind everybody. So if you have been thinking about it, I would say by the end of September, make sure that you do that. Like I said, we're more than halfway there. So I think there's a good chance that we're going to beat that number. In my brain, the real number that I want is probably asking too much, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway, just because I would love to send them $1,000. That means that we need to sell $2,000 in tickets, which is like 66, 67 tickets. So that's a lot, but I'm going to say it anyway. But if we could beat 42, I think that would make my heart happy. So 30 Days of Giveaways starts October 2nd and goes through October 31st. I think you guys already know what it is. The quickest way I can explain it is you buy your $30 ticket, you get 30 chances to win a whole bunch of prizes. You can win more than once. I go live every day for 30 days and draw a name live. Sometimes I draw 2 names, sometimes I make Barb draw the names. It's fun, and regardless if you win or not, or if you win once or 5 times, we are sending money to a good cause. So that is that. And the last day of the 30 Days of Giveaways is my favorite day of the entire year, Halloween. Because I planned it that way.
Are you going to dress up for Halloween?
I might. I'm going to be live doing our last giveaway.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
So I don't know. I don't know what I would dress up as. Don't even start. I don't need suggestions on that.
Not saying a word.
Don't say anything. Yesterday, you guys kind of blew me away. Yesterday, I did a bonus video. So if you did not catch it, you can go back and watch it. It was an idea that I had been thinking about for a while, and I was dragging my feet on it because I didn't know if anybody was going to like it. And then I had texted my mom, because in my life I have several people that will not sugarcoat it. And I was like, if this is a stupid idea, my mother will tell me. And so I said, is this a stupid idea? Like, just to go through my bag patterns? And she was like, no. But you know, the anxiety that lives in my brain is like, don't do that. It's stupid. They're going to hate it. And you guys loved it. And I kind of liked it too, because it reminded me of the bags that I want to redo, the bags that I want to play with, sizes, you know, the bags that I want to make new samples, the bags I need to make new samples. And so it kind of, I think it encouraged some of you to try some other bags too, maybe bags you forgot about. So I'm really pleased with it. I'm pleased with your reaction. So thank you. It's always when I do something that I'm like, I don't know if they're going to like it, and you guys do, that I can breathe a little bit. So thank you for that. If you haven't watched it, it's just all through from wallets to crossbodies to purses and totes. I did them in groups so that you could see them. I compared sizes. I told you cork information, hardware information, stuff that's out there already, but sometimes it's nice to see it in person and see like a person holding a bag to really get like a scale of it. Sometimes it's hard to tell even with measurements. So that video is linked. And what I also posted last night, because I was laughing at myself, was the complete disaster that's in front of me. On your side of the camera, you see the nice stuff. You don't see the mess that Barb and I look at. Well, Barb wasn't here yesterday. No, it was very hard without her.
You missed me.
But I did miss you a lot. But what you guys don't see is that. And I posted that picture because there's even more that you didn't see, because the floor was covered in bags. I love behind the scenes stuff. I don't know about you guys, but like if I watch a movie and there's a blooper reel or there's like information on the making of something, I don't know, it gets my brain all like excited, because I love knowing kind of like a secret. Like I get to know something about that movie that they didn't intend for you to know. I don't know if any of you out there are like me, probably not, because I am a weirdo. I love Halloween. I love scary movies. I love true crime.
There's a full moon on Halloween this year.
Yes, there's a full moon on Halloween. That's awesome. But one of the things, I remember finding this out years ago, and I'm going to share it with you anyway, even if none of you care, is one of my favorite scary movies is Halloween from 1978. Classic. But when you watch that movie, there's all these little things that happen that you wouldn't know about. And I watched this whole thing about it. And one of the things that I still, every time I watch it, I think about, they filmed this movie in California in the spring. It's supposed to take place in Illinois in the fall. It's supposed to be getting cool outside. Well, they had leaves. And the leaves that are blowing around on the ground, in between each scene, they would go gather them up and take them with them, because there's no leaves falling in spring in California. things like that. So I was like, I want to show them the bags. I want to show them the complete disaster that I hide from you guys. And I had also posted something else this week, just in case any of you have any inkling or want to know anything about the video. When I make a video, I film all the parts of the video. It usually takes a few days. If you ever look really closely, you'll notice that a lot of times I have different shirts on, because sometimes I get hot and sometimes it's 3-4 days I'm filming, and it's at different places. And I've started doing all of the filming without sound, because if this looks good, but I say the wrong thing or I meant to say something else, I can't fix it. And so what I do is I film everything with just whatever background noise, I turn it off, and then I voice over. And so I was sitting in my bedroom the other night. I had my earbuds in and I'm watching, and before I can turn the volume off on one clip, all I hear is a Thanksgiving episode of Friends that was on my TV in the background, and it cracks me up is when they're all yelling about the things that they want to happen, and then my dog gets up and starts having a coughing fit walking across the living room. You hear him get closer to me and further away, and I'm like, this is the stuff that you guys watching videos have no idea is happening because I turn it off. And then Eric said, they don't hear that, do they? I'm like, no, that's not for you, that's for me. So
Somebody
yes.
suggested a SMC true crime discussion group.
Oh my God, I would love that. If you guys would do that, I would be so all over
Katie
that.
said it may just be the two of you.
It might just be two of us talking, and I don't care. I am true crime obsessed. It's
She
crazy.
is.
Yeah, I don't have my cup here to show you, but yeah, I'm a lunatic. I'm also sweating. I wore a sweater because it's cold out today, and now I'm hot.
Yeah.
Is it warm in here, or is it me?
No, I have the fan blowing.
So Barb has the fan, so she's good. So that's why I wore a t-shirt. So, come on, there we go. It was freezing. It was like 50 degrees.
Oh, it's
or,
50-something degrees, yeah.
It was like 59, but whatever. It was cold, but I like it. So I told you guys I don't really have a technology minute, but I have a website, guess what, for you. And even Barb doesn't know this, and I'm so excited because I have wanted this forever, and the website was just behind, and it's not on my end, it's on the people that host the website. We have gift cards. I am so excited. I am probably more excited than anybody.
Is it on there already?
It's on because
I saw it.
Yeah, you did.
And I'm like, I don't remember gift cards.
So long story short, like that ever happens. I'm doing a little guild thing next week, and one of the members had said, oh, I would love to see if we could purchase a gift card from you for our members and like raffle it off. And I'm going, oh God, I don't know how to do that because we don't have gift cards. How do I give them a credit and then have them order? I'm like, this is going to be a disaster. I got to figure something out. I got to figure out an appropriate, easy way to do it so it's not crazy for me, for Barb, for everybody. And then I just happened to be on my website looking at something else, and it said gift cards. And I was like, I'm sorry, how come I didn't know that? For all I know, it could have been there for 6 years, but I'm pretty sure it was not. But I'm going to say it just happened. So I looked, and I can decide whatever nomination I want, like whatever, it doesn't matter. So I've already put it on the homepage because there's no good place to put gift cards, really. I didn't know what category it would fall under. It's under the 30 days of giveaways. I'm going to keep it there until I find a better place, if there is one for it. They start at $10, and they go in $5 increments up to $100. And then there's $150 and a $200 one. And I felt like that covered enough if you're buying it for yourself for later. There it is.
There it is.
It's a pretty little picture. Or if you wanted to buy it for someone else, they are e-gift cards. So you don't get anything. We don't mail you anything. And I did go through and I bought one and I tried it out just to see how it works.
Did you buy one for me and Marlene? Is that what you did?
Of course. Check your
Aw.
email. It must be in your spam.
Check yours, Marlene.
So the way that it works is that when you purchase your gift card, you decide on your amount. I can't customize the amount unless I go in and do it for you. I wish they would do that, but let's be patient. It's the first time. I figured in $5 increments is good. And then you go through and it will ask who it's from, who it's to, what their email address is. So make sure that you put in the proper email address, or worst case scenario, you'll put in your own and you'll send it to your friend or print it out. And then they get a code. And the code is for use on the website. You go through checkout. When you get to checkout, it'll say gift card, and then you put in the code. And what I did is I bought one, and then I purchased less product just to see what would happen. So I had a few dollars left. You don't get a reminder email of what your balance is, but you can put that code in for the next order, and then it will take that and apply it towards your next order. So,
did you mention that you can put a gift message in?
oh, and you can put a gift message in. So, yes, I bought one for Roxy and Zoe last night, my dogs, just to try it out. And I said, hey, I love you. So they didn't appreciate it because they're dogs. So that was our website minute, because I don't have a technology minute for you today because there's nothing techie I need to tell you.
That's more interesting.
But I think it's more interesting than telling you about Facebook Messenger. And I think it's getting time for the holidays, which brings me to my next point. The handmade holiday swap is on. We are doing it. I got great feedback. I already have somebody signed up for it. Sue, you know who you are. She's like, I want to be in it. I already have an angel if I need one. Charlie, thank you. You are an angel. So we're doing it. We're going to see how it goes. You are all going to be patient with me if I forget something. But what I'm going to do is in the group. So not here. You have to be a group member. So if you're not a group member, join the group. Get us to 500. Barb will be happy. But
Yes,
also join the group because it's a private group. I'm going to post on there at some point next week what I need from you. I'm going to say, I need you to send me an email with these items in it. You're going to send it to me, and then I'm going to give you a cutoff date. Once the cutoff date comes, I will start to, mix up the names, and then I will send everybody the information. And the things I'm going to ask you for are things that will help out your swap partner. So look for that next week. I will give you all the details. You will have everything you need. Not today, but it's a holiday thing. Gift cards, holidays.
Fun. Yeah.
You see that? Full circle right there.
Marlene and I are even going to join in.
Yay!
She doesn't know it yet.
Marlene, welcome to the holiday swap. So I did mention that I was working on another video. I mentioned it yesterday, and I've talked about it during the week. It is not done yet because my Labor Day was laborious. Is that laborious? Labor-filled?
No, that was right.
Okay, laborious. It was one of them. I don't know. I'm not good with the words, especially when I'm tired. I cleaned. I Marlene cleaned. What does she call it? Swedish death cleaning? Her weird,
Yes.
yeah. I cleaned my house. I accomplished nothing sewing-wise, but my house, it smells like a meadow. And I redid my entire bedroom, and then I'm painting this weekend, and it's wonderful. So that is what I did this weekend. I finished 2 samples. Those samples will become kits for the video. I'm hoping to get that done this week coming up, and I will let you know. So Barb's writing me a secret note. Hold on.
Katie said Fster is a good swap app.
Oh, okay. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh, to help with organizing,
Yes.
she says.
Why do I seem unorganized?
Just a little. Just a little.
No, you're not fired. You have to stay. Okay.
You're not disorganized at all, actually. Not at all.
If you saw what was under my bed, you might beg to differ. I think there was another dog growing under my bed. So it's clean. And it's so pretty. It feels like an adult bedroom. Like it feels like a nice, pretty bedroom, and it's going to be painted.
Guess what Marlene said?
Marlene said what?
I hope you threw away stuff.
Marlene, I threw away so much stuff that we filled the garbage can, and then we had to come here and throw stuff up, and I didn't throw stuff up. Throw stuff out. And I filled the dumpster out there. So don't you worry. Okay. I don't know what's happening today. I'm really not sure. I had a pumpkin spice latte. It might be the sugar going to my head. I don't know. It was really good though. I am that person that like September, I'm like, oh, pumpkin spice. So before we get into today's topic and today's question, because today's question relates to the topic, Judy Gordon, this is for you. Judy asked a question yesterday, and I told her I would answer it on the video, so she knows I'm answering it. And I also wanted to answer it for you guys. I don't even know Judy's watching, but she'll watch at some point because I told her I would answer her question on the video. And I also wanted to read her comment, and that is fine because it's public, it's out there. I don't like to read private emails without permission, but I'm going to read this because she made me smile. And I also just wanted to talk to you about it. So Judy's question was, can the Kaylee bag, which is this one, can Kaylee be made without icicles? Can there be another option if you don't like this hardware? And the answer is yes, absolutely. The Kaylee pattern has the icicles or jewels in the pattern. The jewels are the shorter ones. So those are two options that are included in the pattern. Because I know it depends on your cork, it depends on your style and your preference, what you might like. So you can use either of those. Is Judy on? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. But also, don't forget, and this goes back to her second comment, and I just wanted to read this to you guys because I want you all to know this. Judy said, "I am wonderful." Thank you. And
what
that's
about
it.
me, Judy?
No. She said, "You are wonderful about letting us create our own bags from your patterns." Guys, I'm not letting you do that. I want you to do that. When I write a bag pattern, I am flattered that you want to make it exactly as is. I'm flattered that you love kits. I think that's great. That makes me feel like, wow, I pick out things and put them together well. That's another topic you guys want me to talk about. But 100%, I love when you do that. But I love when you send me an email and you send me a picture or you post a picture and you're like, I took your pattern and I did all this stuff to it. I love when you mix and match. You don't need my permission to do that, but if you want it, I'm giving it to you. You have permission. Change it up. Make your bag yours. Don't make it mine. Make it whatever you want it to be. So Kaylee has those two hardware options written into the pattern. Keep in mind, the reason is we had gotten those pieces of hardware in. I wanted to have a pattern to go with it. It was the first pattern I designed for the hardware because it's very hard to bring in a new piece of hardware and then say, I don't know what to do with it, because then you don't have an idea, I don't sell it, and I wasted money and inventory and space. So that is why I did that. But since then, we have gotten other hardware, and this is something I have to make more bags with this hardware. This is a Harper, but it could be done on this bag too. These are the strap ends and the strap keepers. So these are just a very simplified way of adding a little bit of metal, but I didn't want to take up all the, the pretty flowers and the cork here. You can add that onto any bag. Any bag that has top or front anchored handles, absolutely. The Harper, you probably can't see it. It's on the pattern cover. It's like really, really tiny to you. Actually has you make cork tabs. So you just cut them out of cork and you sew a rectangle ring onto it. That's always an option. And, if you just say, I don't have hardware and I don't want to wait for it, or I don't want hardware at all, you can always sew your handles right onto the top. This is a Tabitha bag. I just sewed those onto the top. This is another one of those patterns that has the option for all the hardware that would be on the front, or you just sew it into the seam on the top. When you're getting ready to finish and you're sewing your outside and your lining together, your handle is just sandwiched in between in this seam up here. So you don't have to use hardware. I'm a blingy girl. I like hardware. I like having metal and fun stuff on my bags because I think it steps it up. I think this bag looks more homemade than one of these. Maybe you disagree. I don't know. Barb's shaking her head. Ray, I mean, because this one's very simple. It's sweet. I love it. I designed the fabric. I'm not mad about it. But this is very, very simple, where this one right here is more my personal style because I like all the stuff. So you decide on your bag what you want, and you have full permission to mess around and try different things. And don't forget, I gave you a very, very subtle, itty bitty little tiny hint a couple weeks ago that we have something new coming in that you might also want to use. I don't know when it's coming, so I'm not even going to say the word yet, but some of you know what I'm talking about. So make your bag yours. Make it work for you. So Judy, I hope that answered your question. Okay. And now we're on to today's topic and question. So today I want to talk to you about all of my favorite sewing and bag making tools. Some of these I've talked about before. Some of these I talked about last week. If you've been here since the beginning, you know some of these, but I know there's a lot of newbies, and I just like to kind of refresh everybody because sometimes I feel like we frustrate ourselves more than anything because we aren't using the proper tools, and we're saying to ourselves, I don't need to spend the money on that. I don't need it. And then after you get it, you go, oh, I really needed it. My personal thing was a walking foot. I learned to quilt on my own. I bought my brand new sewing machine without asking anybody. I didn't have any help. I knew that people used a walking foot, but I was like, I don't need that. I didn't understand the concept of it. I probably spent 2 years of quilting without a walking foot, ruined a lot of things that needed that dual feed. And then when I finally got one, I remember sitting there going, oh, I get what you guys were all talking about. So I just want to go over some of the things that I use every day. Some of these we sell, some of these we don't, but just kind of a little refresher. And so my question for you, because one of the most important tools when you're sewing is your environment. You got to have good lighting. You got to have things set up the way that you want. You got to have it ready. And for me, that includes a lot of coffee, as you all know, but it also includes listening to something in the background. And I want to know, what do you listen to when you're sewing? Are you a quiet sewer? Do you like complete silence? I do not. Do you like the TV on? Do you put on movies? Do you listen to music? So me, I do one of two things. I either have something on in the background that I have already seen because I can't concentrate on something new. So I'm watching the same movies or I'm watching Friends. Thank you, TBS, for having Friends on for several hours during an afternoon. And if I'm not, I turn my Spotify app on and I listen to it on the soundbar on the TV, and I listen to true crime podcasts. For some reason, I can focus on that information most of the time, but like Friends, I'll just kind of catch in the background and I don't listen to it, but it's there. So, Barb, what do you have on when you're working? Because you long arm and sew.
Right. Most times I have the TV on. I hear it, but I don't really pay attention to it. And with the long arm, sometimes I can't hear it because it's loud. So in that case, sometimes I'll put on some music, but I'll have earbuds in so I can hear it because the long arm's too loud.
If I'm moving around a lot, or if I have the embroidery machine going, because that can be a little noisy sometimes, I will use my earbuds. But most of the time, especially if I'm at home, if I'm at home sewing, I'm usually by myself. I have the sound bar or the TV on. If I'm here sewing, because it gets noisy out there with the air compressor and the phone and everything, I usually have my earbuds in. But I can't sew in silence. So I want to know what you guys listen to. If you are a silent sewer, you are blowing me away, because complete silence is more distracting for me. I can't accomplish anything when it's super quiet.
Either.
So
when I regular just sew, I always have TV on.
Well, that's why even the other night, listening to not listening to the video, trying to not, because I have to turn everything off when I'm doing a voiceover, which is normally why I do it here. It's quieter in my office. At home, the microphone picks up everything. So if a car drives by and the dogs bark, or God forbid the wind blows and the dogs bark, or they sneeze, or something happens, I have to redo everything. So I need silence then, but even then it's weird. It's weird when you're just very quietly talking to yourself.
We got a lot of responses. We've got talk radio, the TV, listen to books on Audible.
Oh, I have a stack of books on Audible. I'm so behind.
That's Marlene.
I'm so behind.
Listen to talk shows, music, TV, or a book. Watch soap operas.
I want to know.
A movie I've seen before.
I want to know if we're going to get a silent. I want to see if anyone's like, I love complete silence.
Pandora. I haven't seen a silent one yet.
Yay.
TV.
So we're not
music
weird.
Music or quiet.
Weird. No.
Music or quiet. That's
weird.
Teresa Menko.
We're normal, Barb. Did you know that?
I guess so.
You and me are normal. Okay.
I love all these that have the TV on, because my TV is on like 24/7.
I
couldn't tell you what's on it, but it's on.
I sleep with an eye mask on, because when I sleep, I want complete darkness, and I don't want anything. I don't want to see anything. So I will fall asleep with the TV on. And this morning, I don't know what time it was. It was probably 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm feeling around for the remote to turn it off because I won't take my eye mask off. And I'm just like, I don't know what's happening, but the TV is still on. So that's all. That's all that talk.
Oh, I always sew in silence. Teresa Fogel.
Really?
There's one.
Wow. That kind of blows me away. It really does. Because
Marlene just insulted us.
Marlene insulted
neither one of us is normal.
Well, whatever, Marlene. So anyway, this is why you're not here today, because you're mean. So, all right. So let's talk about my favorite tools. I'm going to start with something you guys saw last week. You hear me talk about it all the time. I'm always talking about it, but I'm going to say it again. And Barb shipped out a few of them today. And these are clappers. And no, don't do this. That's very noisy. Don't do that. I can remember many times having these out at a show, and they would be sitting on the table, and someone would go, "Oh, is this what you do?" And they would bang them together. It is a horrible noise. Don't do that to anybody unless you want them to have a heart attack. So we do sell these. These are also from Tracy of TNT. I linked her stuff last week. She's where I got my ironing little platform board from. I hope you guys got a chance to check out her website. So clappers are just pieces of wood. Yes, I know, but they are custom sanded and shaped to fit in your hands. They have a groove on the side so you can hold on to them. The small one does as well. We are switching over from this style to a more pointed style on the small one. It has a little bit more like this, a little bit like smaller edge. Tim actually did that kind of for me because I told him I use it in the corners of my bag. So we're kind of, switching into that style, which is awesome. But I love these. I have been using one for a long time. They did start as a dressmaking tool. A lot of people back when they used to make clothing, I didn't do that, have had these for a while and haven't used them, or sadly said, I threw mine out. Somebody posted in the Facebook group that she found hers, and I forget where she said she bought it, but the price tag on it was $5.
Yeah.
Did you see that post?
Yes.
It's always funny when you find things that you bought a long time ago and you're like, man, times have changed. There was a page in my senior yearbook that had like a spot to write stuff down, like how much was a loaf of bread when you graduated? How much was this? And I wrote down that gas was 96 cents a gallon, and I was like, man, I'm old and can it be 96 cents a gallon again? But it's funny to look back and think, wow, things have really changed. So the small one is 15, the large one is 25. We do have those. I use these for quilting. I use them for bag making. I use them, exclusively. These are like my crutches. If I am sewing and I am ironing and I don't have these nearby, I feel like I can't do my job right. I use especially because this one's a little bit heavier, the big one. I use these on any kind of thick bag seams, anywhere that I have like cork sewn onto cork, so I can really make that seam flat. I use it for handles. Your cotton handles with Decorbond, whenever you press them, they always want to open up while they're cooling. I will set these kind of along on the ironing board. I actually have 3 of them at home because I have both styles of this that I was trying out, and I have the big one. I use them all the time. I cannot live without my clapper. So if you're still thinking about it, treat yourself. We are getting low on the small ones, but we have plenty of the big ones. I talked about these last night on the log cabin video too, and a couple people were interested. So for me, and I talked about that last week, I always have to have my clapper around. I also always have to have my husband around who comes in during videos. Oh no. Oh, he's coming this way.
Hi, Eric.
So
He's back.
Yes, dear. What's up?
Can we help you?
You have any money?
Get out of here. Get. God. If anyone's
Eric, you got any
interested,
money?
you can have him. He comes with 3 dogs. One of them is disabled, but that's fine. So moving on. This is the 4-in-1 tool. This is also, for me, an essential tool. We do sell these. I think a lot of people shy away from these because it's a $20 tool, but let me tell you why it's worth it. First, it is a wooden tool. It's square, which I love because it doesn't roll off your table. These 2 ends right here with the caps on work for bag making. This one right here is kind of like a little wooden iron. I also use it sometimes if I'm paper piecing. This right here is a turning tool, so it's awesome for flaps or to get in anywhere that you need to kind of press something that you can use, scissors or a knitting needle, but sometimes you want to be really careful. Every flap, everything here that I've turned, I always turn with this. Underneath this is a stiletto. And that is awesome when you're sewing. It's always good to have a stiletto around. And on this end is a seam ripper. And I don't usually use the regular style seam rippers. I use more of the scalpel style, which I don't have with me today. I always have both around. But this one for a regular seam ripper is actually really sharp. So I do love that if I have this, I am covered for a lot of things. And when you think about it, it's $5 a tool. That's why it's a $20 tool, but it's very well made. It's made by Alex Anderson. So that is the 4-in-1 tool.
Question.
Is it about
Back
him?
to a clapper.
Yes. Get.
Do you have to use them with steam?
You do not have to use them with steam, but everything that I iron, I do with steam. So when I'm using the clapper, regardless if it's steam or not, the heat from your iron is going to kind of transfer into the wood, and it makes everything cool a little bit slower, and it also cools it from the top. And if you're using a wool mat, which is another one of my favorite tools, it's also going to help from the bottom. So when you use a hot iron, you're only getting that heat from one source. When you take this and a wool mat and work those together, the heat is coming from the top and bottom. It makes your seams flatter. It lets them cool slowly, so it really helps to flatten everything out. No, you don't have to use steam, but that's another thing. And we talked about irons last week. I can't iron without steam. You're super distracting. Can you please go?
Well, I just want to tell your customers.
No, don't. No, they don't want to.
Yeah, they do.
Oh God.
And they also make a great sound.
No. Right in my microphone. Why would you?
Now that everybody's deaf that's been
Thanks
listening.
for that.
I love you.
Because seriously, I don't like you at all. 500 members of the group, and you get Eric. Now
There you go.
Everybody just left.
Yeah,
They're like, we don't want to
no.
be part of the group. Okay.
You just took away my surprise.
Surprise, he's free. I'm going to kill him later. No, erase that. It's online. I'm not. I love him. So I mentioned it. I mentioned it last week. I will just mention it again. A wool mat. If you're on the fence about it, or if you have one but you haven't used it, if you don't know why you need it, I have not ironed without a wool mat in a very long time. And I feel like it was one of those things that I was like, I don't need this. It's another gimmick. Why am I buying an ironing board cover? I don't need this wool mat. It is pretty awesome. Like I said last week, Tracy's boards are a nice firm board. They're really good for pressing, but the wool mat also helps. So I would say have a firm ironing surface. That's going to be necessary for certain things. And have the wool mat, especially when you're adding your interfacing. It does help with the fusing because, again, it's heat from the top from the iron and heat from the bottom from the wool mat. So I have not worked without a wool mat in over probably a year and a half, 2 years now. It's probably it might even be longer. And a good iron. And we talked about that last week, so I'm not going to get full into that, but check your iron. Make sure that your iron is doing its job too. We have expensive sewing machines. We buy expensive pieces of hardware and cork and all that, and then we have a crummy iron that isn't doing its job. We're not doing ourselves any justice, and we're making our lives harder. So those, as far as pressing are concerned, very big. And check out last week's video if you didn't. There's a lot more information on clappers and irons and all that kind of stuff. Tape. Next thing I always have is the Steam Seam 2. This is the one that we sell on the website. You get 2 rolls. I use this for all of my zippers. It has paper on the back. It's a fusible. It's a very lightweight tape, but it takes the place of pins when you're trying to hold a zipper in place. And if you watched my YouTube video, or if you've done any of my patterns that have a recessed zipper, that is how this entire piece is prepared, so that when it gets time to put it on the zipper, it goes on really smoothly and it holds everything, it stays straight. So for the $5 or $6, I don't even know how much this is, I always have this around because there's so many uses. In a pinch, if you have to fuse your binding on because you don't have time to hand sew it, you can do that too. Yes.
My daughter-in-law uses that to fuse the binding on before she sews it, so it stays perfectly. She doesn't have to use clips or anything.
See that?
And it comes out perfect.
So many uses for this tape that if this is not in my sewing, my toolkit, I don't know what to do with myself. And I usually have several rolls open because I lose them, I open a new one, and then I find them. So at home, there's like a bunch of them. There's extra tips on how to use this in the YouTube video on zippered pockets and zippered recess zippers. So this is an always for me. I always have to have that tape around. And not far off of that is glue. We've talked about this a lot. Somebody, I think it was Diana McCrae, said she bought some of this glue and she understands why I talk about it so much and why I use it. This is the Gutermann glue. What I love about this glue is...
What, sniffing it?
Sniffing it. No, Barbara. Do you see
She doesn't. She doesn't
see what I deal
really.
with? You would think some days I sniffed glue. I don't. What I like
It smells.
is, I don't like that it smells. It's actually kind of gross. But it has this really fine nozzle, so you can get into your hardware. You can get into your Kisslock frames, your Diva frames, into the little screw openings when you need a little extra. You can get under things, and it doesn't glue itself together. If you use E6000, you know that you get to use it once or twice and it glues itself together and the cap never comes off again. And the tip, if the tip on this is like that, the tip on E6000 is so much bigger, it's just a mess. It's a fine glue, but it's not a great, application. I lost my words again. Yes.
Somebody asked a question back on the wool mat. What's the good size to get for pressing bags?
That's a good question. So I have several wool mats. I would say don't buy the small ones. I have not found any great use for them. They have like little, and it depends on the company you're buying from. They'll have like little 14 and 16 inches. Unless you strictly make miniature and tiny little things, I don't see much of a use for it. I bought God, I don't even know what it is. It's probably like an 18 by 24-ish size. That's the size that I used a lot. It's a good size. You figure most of your bags are not going to need more than that. My friend bought a wool mat. She bought the smaller size and said she regretted it immediately because it's just not enough surface. On my ironing board at home, I have, the old stand-up ironing board. I bought the full-size mat. It was expensive. I'm not going to lie. It was close to $200, but it covers my entire ironing board. So here, when I'm working on my small ironing table, I have one of the smaller, I'm going to say in the 18 to 24 or 36 inch range. It's somewhere around there. It's like a cutting mat size. And then at home, I have the big one. I would highly suggest Granny's Legacy. They are a wool applique company out of Minnesota. They're a family-owned company. I know that their mats are high quality because I sold them. I don't sell them anymore because it's hard to ship them for the things that we have here when we ship. But for sure, if you're going to buy one online, that's where I would go. Be very cautious. If you go to Amazon or any of the box stores, make sure that your mat is thick. It should be at least a ½ inch thick. You don't want the little thin, flimsy ones. They're not going to do enough for you. So the glue, the Gutermann, we'll go backwards. This is your hardware glue. This is your metal to fabric glue. This is for any of the hardware that needs to be glued or needs help with glue. I've also recently started selling the Fabric Fusion. This is technically a glue, but I use it on the edges of my cork handles or on the raw edges of fabric when I'm folding them over, like on a bag like this. If this was fabric, this would be folded over twice. You can add that onto the edge and it's going to seal your edges. It's not a necessary product, but I have been falling in love with it because it does help with all of those, handle edges and anywhere else that you have a raw edge that you want to seal so you don't get any of the fabric backing fraying. So this is an awesome glue. This is not the same. They cannot be interchanged. This is for hardware, for metal. This is not. This is just a sealant. So keep that in mind. You can buy both, but don't buy only one and think you can use it for everything. They are very different. Glues. Clips. I don't sell clips. I know a lot of you already have them. And if you don't and you're making bags, you really got to get yourself some clips. These are the original ones, the Clover, little red ones. I do use these, but I've actually found that I like these better. These are the Clip-It, Klipit. They're bigger. They're just better for bags. These are fine, but these seem to work a little bit better. You can find clips now that they're more of an everyday item. You can find them anywhere. Your quilt shops have them, the box stores, Amazon. You can find them everywhere. But get yourself some clips. Get yourself more than you think you'll need. If you buy the 10-pack, I can promise you it's not enough.
You can go on Amazon and buy 300 for
if you can
$10
get
or
a
something.
good amount of them,
Yeah.
get them because you will find that you're using them for everything if you're not already. I do still use pins, not for everything. It depends on what I'm doing. But I have found a couple of pins that I really like, and I just wanted to share that with you. These, I'm going to try to get up close. These are the magic pins. That is literally what they are called. They are different ones. These are the blue ones. I don't know what it is about these pins, and keep in mind, I have no nails right now. I used to always have long nails. Certain pins I can't pick up. Flathead pins I cannot pick up ever. These even if you have any arthritis or issues with your fingers, it's just something about the grip on these. They're easy to pull out. They don't bend as much. They're a good weight. They're not so thin that you're going to have, bending issues, but they're not so thick that you're putting holes into your fabric. Look at your pins. Take a look at them. These are the other ones that I use. These are the glass head silk pins. These are always around. If you watch any of my videos or look at any of the pictures I ever post, those are the pins that you're going to see. Check out your pins. I can remember taking a class with Carol Doak at our guild many years ago. She was teaching us paper piecing, and she walked around to everybody's table because on her supply list was flathead pins, and she walked around and picked them up, and she said, "No, don't use those. Okay, those are fine. Oh, those are like daggers. Don't use those." And she kind of educated all of us on our pins. And I remember when she was coming close to me, I was like, I hope she likes my pins. I don't want to get in trouble by the teacher. She said my pins were fine. But it's one of those silly things, but you don't think about it until you're like, every pin I have is bent. They don't go through the fabric. So get yourself some good pins. I love the magic pins.
Diana would like to know, are they Clip-Its, K-L-I-P?
Yes.
And then a separate word, its?
It's either clip it or it's clip-it.
Because you can't find them on Amazon.
You might not find them on Amazon because it's a small owned company. You might have to get them from them or from your local shop. I tried actually it's written right here. Well, it's clip all capital and IT lowercase. I don't know if that helps. I tried to get a wholesale account with them the last time I saw them at a show, and it was difficult. So I hope I'm not sending you down a rabbit hole and you will not find them anymore. I don't know why. I think I talked to the wrong person and just couldn't get the information. I want to sell them, but can't seem to find them. So check with your local quilt shops if you don't find them online, or check their website. I think Barb's going to see right now if she can find them. Those are my preferred ones. I've tried all different kinds. There's other ones that are, they're flat metal on one end and then they're plastic on the other. Those are pretty strong. I like those, but I don't love them. Those are just the size that I really like. That it. So let's go. We talk about this a lot, but I'm gonna say it again. Scissors. You guys you gotta take a look at your scissors, because sometimes you need new ones and you don't realize it. If you are working on hardware, if you are doing anything where you need to cut around something, you need to snip threads, you gotta get yourself a good pair of scissors that's sharp to the point. These are the Kai scissors. Yes, we sell them. I've fallen in love with them, but I also love Ginger scissors. They're expensive. They're not always the easiest to find, but they're well made. And every so often you can find a good pair of Fiskars, not all the time. Oh, they do have a website, clipit.us, K-L-I-P.us. They sell online.
No, K-I-L or K-L-I-P-I-T.us.
Is that not what I said?
No, you didn't say the I-T.
I tried. In my head I did. In my mouth didn't.
Here, show it to him.
You show it to him.
Well, I can't reach over there.
Can you see it? I know you're delayed.
Yes. Add .us after that and you're good.
I always say you're delayed and I don't mean you. I mean the computer.
I can see it now.
I'm sorry. Anyway,
computer.
we're almost done, I promise. This disaster. Scissors. So why do I love the Kai scissors? Because they are sharp to the point. These are nice, strong scissors. They're easy on your hand and they are awesome for hardware. These little guys, if you need to get into a corner of a zipper, if you need to trim your threads, these I always have in my sewing bag. I am never without them. You have to have good scissors. And even if you're not getting these scissors, this is not a sales pitch. I'm not trying to tell you to go buy everything I have. But check your scissors, make sure that they're doing their job. Because sometimes I think we forget and we're like, oh, this hardware is horrible to put in. But really it's because our scissors weren't doing their job. So check your scissors. I always have a skinny ruler. I always have this little 1-inch ruler around. I think I used this in the Prima Diva video that I did because this gets into all of your little bags and wallets really nicely when you need to do trimming. So besides my regular rulers, which I exclusively use Creative Grids, I won't use anybody else's anymore. I've fallen in love with them. These are a quilt shop exclusive. You will not find them online. You will not find them at box stores. But, check your rulers. Nope. You can't. They are, because these are made by a distributor. The distributor owns the company. So
Creative
they
Grids?
only, yep, you will not find them at Joann's or anywhere else.
No, not
No,
Joann's or anything.
but if you find them online, it's from a quilt shop, but you will not just find these, in any store. So I love Creative Grids, and I always have the little skinny ruler around for bag making. That's just my thing. A good rotary cutter.
Marlene has a great use for Kai scissors. She cuts her bangs with them.
I'm not going to encourage anyone to cut their own hair, but if you want to, apparently Kai scissors are good for them. Get yourself a good rotary cutter, and guess what, guys? It's probably time to change your blade, because I bet you haven't done it as recently as you think you have. So make sure that you do that. Treat yourself. And the last thing is marking tools. I've told you guys this, I've told you in classes, I do it in the videos. I use a regular pen all the time because if it's not going to be seen, I want to make sure that my eyeballs can see it and that the video picks up on it. I always have a regular pen. These are the Papermate Ink Joy Gel. I love these pens. I'm obsessed with them. I will not use other pens.
We have them in all colors.
We have them in all different colors. But I always have a pen. I always have a pencil, and I don't like mechanical pencils because I write super hard and I break them. But I do have the Soline mechanical chalk pencil because it's not super skinny thin. I don't like those skinny itty bitty. I break them. I'm like,
I do too.
But I always have a chalk pencil because if I need to mark something and I want to make sure that I don't see the line later, if I'm going to sew over it, I want a nice fine chalk pencil, and those little chalk wheels, they are good, but they blow away and they're thick. So this is the Soline. I think that this is a brand that you can also only get through quilt shops. I could be wrong on that, but I like their chalk pencil. Bowen makes one, and I think Nancy's Notions, one of those other companies. You'll find similar pencils like this around, but I have, this one's green, I have a white one, and I have a pink one, depending on what I'm using. So I always have those around. I did forget two other quick things.
My favorite.
The Diva screwdriver. If you are making Diva wallets, I spend the $4 and get the screwdriver. Trust me, you will like it. They are magnetic, not always the best at the magnetic part because they're so fine. Put them in a magnetic pin dish. This tip is made for those screws. It's not made for other screws. It may or may not work with other hardware, but it is the same size because it's made by the manufacturer for the Diva screws. And this turns so that when you put it in your hand, you can just do this instead of doing that to try to put your screws in and adding more strain to your wrist. But just the fact that this is made specifically for the screws, I highly encourage you to get that. And last but certainly not least, I love my thread cutter. I don't quilt as much anymore. I have been on a bag making kick, so I don't do as much chain piecing as I used to. But if you do any chain piecing, there is a teeny tiny itty bitty little blade down here that you might not even see. And after you chain piece, you just do this.
Awesome.
And like that, all your stuff is cut apart. You don't have to get your scissors out. It's mindless. You can even have your grandkids do it for you because they're not going to cut themselves. You go, hey, honey, I have a job for you. Go do that. They're not going to mess anything up and they're not going to hurt themselves. So,
Perfect.
And that is it. That's everything. So, I will close this up and see if there's any more questions before we go. But those are my favorite tools. You have a question?
I do.
Yes.
How often do you change your rotary blade, and after how many bags?
Not often enough, ever. I don't have a system. I read all these great tips all the time of people that say, I do it this many times, I do it after this many projects. I don't have a great system, but I can tell when it's not feeling, if it starts to skip. And sometimes if it even skips just once, I'm like, I'm done. It's telling me it's done. Between cork and interfacing and fabric and occasionally a piece of paper if I'm cutting a template, they get dull. So if you even have that slightest thought that it's been a while, maybe I should change my blade, it's probably way past due. I don't have a great tip for you there. But if you change your blade, also think about changing your sewing machine needle because I guarantee you haven't done that either. Or, you ready for this one? Clean out your bobbin case. I bet you there's a piece of felt in there. Unless you are super good, which all of you probably are, and I'm not. So, that was your PSA for the weekend. Go home, change your blades, change your needles, and clean out your bobbin case. It will make your life brand new and shiny and wonderful. I did our bonus video yesterday because next Friday I will see you guys at 11, but I am going to a retreat. I don't know what I'm going to be talking about. It will probably be very brief and informal. It will not be a set topic because Barb is not coming with me. And so I'm on my own. So it might just be a brief hello, but I'm doing it for you guys, but mostly for me because I do not want to break my streak. I forgot to count. We're got to be close to 20 weeks in that range. I'm going to count soon.
I have one more question.
So, yes, one more question.
Have you ever used blade sharpeners?
No, I have not used blade sharpeners. I don't have any knowledge to add to that, but if somebody listening does and wants to say if they like them, don't like them, have you ever used one?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
The only thing I can tell you about blades, and I'm very firm on this, I use an Olfa rotary cutter. I use Olfa blades. Even on my Fisker, I have one Fisker's rotary cutter only because it's pretty, it has owls on it. It was like one of the fancy ones. I still use the Olfa blades. I have not found any blade is better than theirs. And there was a thread going around for a while of people going to Harbor Freight and buying rug cutting blades. Please don't buy those. They are not for us. They are for cutting rugs. They are for carpet installers. They are not the same, but what got everybody was, look, they look exactly the same and they're $2 for a pack.
Yeah.
Please don't buy them. You will end up hurting your mat. You might hurt your rotary cutter or yourself. They are not for us. Those are for other people or other hobbies. I'll say other hobbies. Maybe you install carpet. I don't know what you do on your free time. I don't. So spend the money and buy the nice blades because it's worth it. Why are we doing all this if we're going to use crummy tools? We deserve better than that. My machine costs a lot of money. I'm not going to skimp out and be like, well, I spent thousands of dollars on the machine. I can get the $3 scissors. No.
As far as the blade sharpener, Nancy Casso said she used it. Pain in the neck, don't bother.
Okay, thank you, Nancy Casso. Nancy Casso gave it 2 thumbs down. So I would love to give you an experience on that. I don't want to waste my money and buy one. I waste my money buying a lot of things to educate you guys, but I'm not going to buy a blade sharpener.
Another one says they're terrible.
So we've gotten 2 no's so far. So if you guys want it, and if you like yours, tell us. Let us know. Put your 2 cents in on blade sharpeners. So I'm going to finish up. Don't forget, next week will be brief. I will probably have no makeup on, and I might be wearing yoga pants, but don't judge me. We have some more back to school topics to finish up September, and then we have some fun stuff for October. Sign up for Court Club if you want. 30 days of giveaways. We're closing in on the deadline on that. And that's it. What do you listen to while you're sewing? And that's all. I think that's everything.
I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yes, Barb will see you in 2 weeks, and I will see you somewhat next week. And that's all. And check the group. Join the group. And check the group next week. I'm going to post the holiday handmade swap info. And that's it. Close it up, Barb. We're done.
All right.
You guys have an awesome weekend. I will see you on Friday.